Hey there everybody! So, I know that this isn't anywhere near the content you're used to seeing from me, but honestly, I thought it'd be a fun change of pace to try my hand at something like this for a change. Also, before I start talking about anything related to School Live, I should probably say that if you haven't seen School Live yet and you're watching this video, and you ever plan to watch it, I strongly urge you to close or pause this video right now and go watch episode 1 at the very least before coming back, as this show hits best while going in 100% blind. And even doing as much as reading a summary of the anime or looking at the tags could take away from the experience of watching this anime. So yeah, I'll give you 5 or so seconds to go pause this video and go watch episode 1, starting now. Okay, and now that everyone who hasn't seen episode 1 is hopefully gone, I should also warn you, I'll be diving into spoilers in general for the anime, which I'll have in a section towards the end. And I'll give a timestamp on screen to go see my final thoughts in the anime while skipping the spoilers. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin. So School Live at first glance appears to just be another generic run-of-the-mill moe high school anime, following the lives of 4 girls, their supervising teacher, and their pet dog living at the school as part of a club called the School Living Club, which seeks to grow closer to the school's many departments and foster self-governance, and set an example for all other students at the school. The 4 girls include Yuki, a very energetic and happy-go-lucky 3rd year, who despite appearances is actually one of the older members of the School Living Club. Kurumi, who is also a 3rd year and has a thing for carrying around a shovel with her wherever she goes. Miki, a 2nd year, and one of the more serious members of the club who's a big fan of reading. And Yuri, a 3rd year who's also a member of the gardening club and is the School Living Club's president. And finally, there's Megune, the faculty advisor, and a close friend of Yuki's who doesn't really stand out much. Anyways, so episode 1 just follows Yuki around on an average day at school, and everything's going just fine until Yuki accidentally forgets her bag back in the classroom. So she has to go back and get it. And well, Miki goes to check on her, and it's at this point School Live decides to go mask off and show its true colors.
Senpai! Miku! どうしたの?
Yep, that's right! This is anything but a standard slice of life anime. It's actually a psychological zombie horror fused with a slice of life anime. Also, as jarring as the twist can be, it's actually very heavily foreshadowed throughout episode 1 that things aren't as they seem. So this twist doesn't really come out of nowhere at all. In fact, let me just quickly show you a montage of the various things that reveal that stuff isn't quite right. The signs for the various rooms are pieces of paper taped over the normal signs. Yuki saying she almost forgot about the club and left prompted a close call from Kurumi. The various other students are usually depicted as single-color simplistic cutouts, showing that they're not real. When Miki interrupts the classes, she doesn't react at all until Yuki tells her she is, and when she realizes it, she doesn't look embarrassed, she just looks depressed. There's writing on the chalkboard in red chalk that is considerably more depressing than the other writing on the board. While looking for Toromaru, Miki and Yuki run past a set of broken windows. There's a barricade of desks. All of the people in the courtyard in the front of the school are slumped over in odd positions. Not only do the other students look simplistic, but they also only appear whenever Yuki addresses them, and they vanish right after. You can see a grave in the garden. The massive tonal shift in the rooftop scene in general. Kurumi talks about how the whole situation had no casualties. And finally, right before the twist, you can see the corner of the doorway Miki is at is damaged. Yeah, all things considered, I personally consider episode 1 a masterpiece of an episode. And the rest of the anime just gets more fucked up from here. Also, School Life makes a very interesting artistic choice in that they never fully show the zombies clearly. They're either obscured by shadows or a dark haze, which honestly makes them far scarier, as the imagination can outdo anything you can actually show when it comes to horror. Anyways, the next few episodes are dedicated to backstory stuff, ranging from Kurumi having to kill her zombified crush, to Miki getting stuck in the mall with her best friend Kei, who eventually leaves to try and find help, and the whole backstory of what happened the day of the zombie outbreak, and of course, various slice-of-life funny moments to break up the much more intense horror sections, as this show is still a slice of life. Now from this point onwards, I'll be getting to the much more spoilery parts of the show. So if you have seen episode 1 but don't want to get these major spoilers, well, spoiled, then go to this timestamp here. I'll give you like 5 seconds to click it and skip the spoilers if you wish. Okay, all people who want to avoid the spoilers should be gone now, so I can dive into the juicy stuff. Episode 6 starts off with a recap of the past 2 episodes, and then Miki waking up on a couch at the high school to Yuki's voice. Everything seems normal as Miki tries to adjust to her new surroundings, and Yuki and Megane introduce themselves to Miki. Although something immediately doesn't sit right, as Miki looks more concerned and confused than anything else. But regardless, things keep moving along. Megane eventually gives Yuki the idea to show Miki around the school, since odds are she hasn't been there in a hot second. So Yuki's first place she takes Miki is the music room, where Yuki, in her usual happy-go-lucky and delusional fashion, shows off the music room, which Miki, seeing the room being bloodstained and in terrible condition, while of course Yuki is none the wiser, puts Miki in a rather sad state. Megane also comes in and then prompts Yuki to explain the room more in depth so that Miki can understand better, which prompts Yuki to turn on the radio and listen to some nice music. And Miki, who's still looking depressed of course, says it's a total waste of electricity, and a bit later on, that she doesn't care at all, and that she would just like to continue the tour. Yuki really enjoys being called Senpai, and she keeps insisting on calling Miki Miku, which of course Miki dislikes. However, at this point once Yuki turns around to address Megane again, things immediately start going downhill, as the radio's music starts getting more and more distorted, and then Miki asks Yuki one earth-shattering question.
ねえ、メグネだってそう思うでしょ？ユキちゃん、無理強いしちゃいけないわよ。メグネは可愛いと思わない？可愛いとは思うけど、そういうことじゃないでしょ？
さっきから何を言ってるかわからないんですけど。一つ聞いてもいいでしょうか？メグネって誰ですか？
Yep, you heard that right. Megane has been one of Yuki's delusions the entire time. Everyone else has just been playing along for Yuki's sake. Although Miki wasn't in the know on all that yet, so she had no idea about Yuki being completely delusional. Thankfully, the other girls come in time to make the save before Miki inadvertently causes serious mental damage to Yuki's fragile mental state. It's also here where Yuri and Kurumi reveal that Megune's death was what broke Yuki mentally and left her in her current state. And after they get Miki to agree to play along with Yuki, they head back down to Yuki, and the rest of the episode goes into slice of life mode, and helps Miki understand the importance of keeping Yuki happy. Anyways, back on the subject of the Megane twist, it's a lot like the episode 1 twist in that observant viewers might pick up on Megane being dead long before it's actually revealed due to all the various signs she's not actually there. Like Megane seeming to appear out of nowhere most of the time, and no one really noticing her until Yuki addresses her first. Also, after this twist is revealed, you never see Megane alive again except in flashbacks. It's also revealed later on that Megane actually had knowledge about this stuff in advance, and that the zombie virus is actually a bioweapon. Also, the school is built as a shelter to be used in case of an outbreak, which explains the water tanks, electric generators, and solar panels on the roof. There's also medicine for newly infected, and there's a secret second basement bunker level where it's stored. Also, the medicine isn't the only thing down there, as at the end of episode 9, Toromaru ends up getting out of his collar and heading downstairs, and in one of my favorite scenes in the show, ends up meeting his maker. Kurumi also ends up getting bitten by zombie Megane while looking for Toromaru, and also a little bit after that, the zombies break into the school, and the final climax begins. Episodes 10 through 12 are the most intense 3 episodes in the show, bar none, and will have you on edge the entire time. Yuki also ends up facing reality for what it is, and ends up actually saving everyone by exploring the previously established fact that the zombies retain faint traces of their past lives, and she announces that school is out and that everyone has to go home. The anime ends with the girls driving off in Megune's car to look for other survivors, since the zombies breaking in completely trashed the generators and burnt down the crops due to getting set on fire by lightning, making the high school unsuitable for living in. Also, as they leave, they drive by a zombie who bears quite a striking resemblance to Kei, and Miki looks out the window super sad at her. So my final thoughts on School Live is that School Live is probably my favorite single piece of media ever for a multitude of reasons, ranging from the fantastically done horror to the lovable characters and basically everything else in between. School Live truly is something special that I personally feel that if you're a fan of anime and especially horror, you should absolutely check out ASAP. I assure you, you won't be disappointed in the slightest. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. By the way, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Sorry about the mic quality, I don't own any kind of good mic whatsoever, nor do I have a good space to record. But hopefully I can fix both those issues in due time. I don't know, I may make some other shit like this in the future if I feel so compelled, but yeah. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.
All of you are tender days.